Saran Sat Sri Akal, and a very warm good evening to another one of my very exciting chat shows with Manjeet Kaur. Doing the shows every Monday at 9:40 p.m. Thada Niga Swagat, Namaskar, Adab, Jai Shri Krishna, and Jambu Sana. I'm really rushing very fast. We couldn't park the car. We are in the heart of Southall, and we were running late, and I was timing for at least 4 shows. Oh my God, I'm really panicking. Panic is a state of life for many people. Panic is hitting over 25 million people at some stage, at some time. No gender, no age limit, no time, no reason, no cause. A lot of it becomes a state of the mind. A lot of it becomes exaggerated for the symptoms that were there. I was relaxed, but we couldn't find parking in Southall. Terrible. And that was not panic, it was just concern. But I parked at my client's parking spot. What is life? Life is a journey. Zindagi ek musafir wangar ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਮੁਸਾਫਿਰ ਦੇ ਮੋਢੇ ਤੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੋਟੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਗੁਥਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਭੋਜਨ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਥੋੜੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਹੋਏਗੇ ਇਹ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਹੈ ਮੁਸਾਫਿਰ ਵਾਂਗਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਚਾਰ ਦੀਵਾਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਦੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਪਰ ਬਿਟਵੀਨ our journey from birth to death, between the letter B and D is a letter C. The letter C is choice. The letter C is a choice, that life is a matter of choice. What choice do you want to make? I choose and I chose to be patient and calm through the strains of parking in Southall on a very busy afternoon to run the shows on time. But we are still on time. Panic attacks become an exaggeration of our body's normal response to fears, to stress, to excitement. It is a rapid buildup of overwhelming situations or sensations, symptoms such as pounding of your heart, beat, feeling faint, sweating, nausea or sickness, feeling wanting to vomit but you can't vomit. Chest pains, you'd probably think you're getting kind of a very heavy chest. Feeling of unable to breathe, asphyxiation. I have a woman who comes to me with panic attacks that on the point of her wanting to have a pill, she will panic. On the point of having to swallow a capsule, she will panic. And she will close the vessel to say, "Meri goli nahi nangdi." Te main roti pakaun lagi haan te main laal ho jani haan. Main kuch karna hai. She comes to me all panicked. And in 10 minutes, the skin redness calms down. But there are other things that are to do with the digestion, which are a serious problem. The feeling of unable to breathe makes you panic even more, and you feel like you're going to get a heart attack, shaking limbs, and the feeling the legs go like jelly. The feeling that you're not connected with your body, you're out of your body. That's a feeling of panic. So there is no time, there is no age, there is no gender. It could be the youngest child who came to me from Scotland, says she gets a lot of anxiety and panic attacks of having to get up, having to go to school, having to do the key stage exams. Oh my God, we had exams every day of the week, and we had exams every week of the month, and we had exams every month of the year. But we didn't panic. What is happening to children that they panic, and what is happening to children in exams that they panic? Yeah, we used to get a little bit nervous or a bit jittery, but not panic. Symptoms of such kind, which I'm going to list to you through this show. And I'm going to be very certain that 90% of you who are watching my show today will say you've had this one symptom or a set of symptoms or a cluster of these symptoms that actually made you feel like that and quite unsettled. So really it's the physical symptom signs that build inside you literally, and in every part of your body you're feeling completely lightheaded and disembodied. How would you feel during panic attacks? So many varied symptoms, so many symptoms that don't get diagnosed, so many symptoms that would be put down to depression, so many symptoms that would be down to anxiety, which is different. Another topic that I'm going to take again is going to be mental illnesses, in which I'm going to put in anxiety. It seems to be one of the biggest problems when I do my diagnosis in my clinic. If you watch my show, the last show on the Monday, that was talking about complementary medicine, how it is so welcomed by 53% of Brits and worldwide, and at least about 60% of Germans sometime in their life had chosen to have homeopathy or naturopathy or a massage or a lymph drainage, or going into Roman baths in Hungary, or going to the Swiss massages with the last stones. So there is hot stones, there is so much varied therapies, all to relax the mind. Are we in a 21st century where life seems to be so complicated, or we make it so complicated because of our disorganization, because of our bad timekeeping, because we are not careful planners, that we panic? So how would you feel during panic attacks? You'd be afraid, or you will be losing control, or you're going to faint. So I'm sure through this evening you'll say, oh my God, I do have one of these 2 or 3 or 4 symptoms, but I missed that. Towards the end of the show, keep a paper and pencil ready. I'll be giving you juice. And the juice is always things that I've studied, and with Dr. John Walker in my studies in Canada, when I was becoming a colon hydrotherapist, that I then decided that this has to complement, not smoothies that you guys make and make a chutney and add water to this stuff, and then you think you've done your just self-justice, but going organic. Seriously, juicing and masticating juicing is another story to just whipping up these fruits and creating a mishmash. You may obviously benefit from people who have never had their 5s in a day. Obviously, other things with panic attacks are feeling as if you're going to have a heart attack and suffocation, the control of breathing and you cannot breathe, feeling as if that you're going to die, but these symptoms do not reflect onto an illness. It's a state of a situation of a mind that physically the symptoms may not be there. Physically, the body, doctors would say you're making them up. Physically, the doctor would verbally say, I think it's in her head, she's certainly depressed, which is totally different to panic. You cannot mix these two things up, and I as a complementary therapist would not mix them up, because they're two different things, and how we deal with them. And if you listen to my last caller of how I dealt with her symptoms to what she suffered for 2 years, from doctor to antidepressants to test to blood test to pathological test, and then saying it's a state of the mind. And now she's back to work after having to be forcing to have given up her work. Life is getting back to normal. Some patients would chatter and become over bubbly with their talk, and you wonder what they are. Is this OCD behavior? Is this kind of panic behavior? So many things can be added to it. Body would tremor for some people. They'll feel quite shaky. Hyperventilation, they'd want to, and the best thing at that time when somebody's hyperventilated is to give them a brown shopping bag, a paper bag, and ask them to breathe in that. It will inflate, and the oxygen, carbon dioxide molecules which have increased so much, and that's blocking the blood peripheral endings, would make them feel as if they're getting a kind of a mild stroke symptom, but still do not, kind of misdiagnose those two. Do not diagnose the symptoms well, if they're there, but do not become your own self-therapist and think, oh, I got this and this is what thing I can do. This is where people go wrong. This is where people will let something reside in their body for 10 years and then they'll think, oh, I need to seek help. People will not be massaging and doing cellulitis, fat massaging with a brush or body brushing, and then they'll come to you with gross bodies and expect something to happen within 3 weeks. And they think that dieting and crash dieting and having something that they heard, something that somebody did will help them. Every body is different. Every ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਟੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਇੱਕੇ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਆ but exactly what I said, between the letter birth and death and between the letter B and D is a letter C, is a choice. What choice do we make of our life? We seem to be steering to the right or the left, to clockwise, to anti-clockwise, and this is where we go off track. Obviously, then there will be the call within the panic feeling would be the feeling of unconsciousness. You feel like you're losing control. When and why does panic attack happen, and to who? Obviously, it's different for each person. This is why you cannot put everybody with that one label. GPs and doctors often label everybody with some symptoms of mild digestion or constipation as IBS. That's a label everybody is sent with a tag to go and have some laxatives and things like that. That is not correct. With IBS, I have amazing therapy remedies and Ayurveda filtrations and homeopathy, naturopathies, NASCAN that we do with those herbs of Ayurveda are so amazing, and also doing de-stressing herbs and panic herbs and natural nervous relaxant herbs are so fabulous that you would feel, and the chill and all these things that I'll be talking about. But for the distant patients of Glasgow, Sarin Sastrikal, I'll be having a clinic running, be in Glasgow to do a marathon clinic, and I'll be there from the 10th of August, running my clinic right up to the 15th of August, and then return to Birmingham. So do not leave it to lastminute.com and window shop and ask, Penny, tenu farak pya, 2 dina de vich tenu dwai de naal farak pya. Things do not happen. What painkillers do will hold up that pain chemical and stop the pain. This is not what English medicine does as anti-inflammatories and painkillers. Holistic medicine takes a wee while, but also depends that even if I, for example, give this remedy to 3 people and probably with the symptoms, and all 3 will respond in different ways. In one would say, "Main ta bahut farak pa gaya." Another one will say, "Thodak farak paya, thodak nahi paya." The third one will say, "Manu rati ki bhi nahi farak paya." It is how they are absorbing this remedy. It is not कि सिर्फ दवाई ने नहीं काम किया. It is थोड़ी दवाई दी पचन दी सहन शक्ति दे विच किन्नी मजबूती हैगी है. What is the strength of absorption through your stomach, through your small intestine, through your liver, through your bloodstream, that you will benefit. It is not कि तुसी रोटी चप्पा खा ली, 2 खा लिया, 4 खा लिया, गड़प करके कैनवुड मिक्सर अंदर जाके roti chabani vi nahi, the Sutlovich, and it's going to do you the job. You seriously punish your body to so much point of stress that the body cannot handle itself anymore. Obviously, over time, what happens then is some of these you might have an understanding about. You need to sit and think what causes you the panic attack. Because if you do not sit and evaluate the situation, obviously it's what I will do. GPs do not have time to do that for you. So in those 5 to 8 minutes, they need to quickly assess, they need to quickly move on, they need to quickly call the next patient because they're working on targets. My targets are to bring quality to my patient's lifestyle. My targets are to achieve success. My targets are to get satisfaction of my job. My target is to put my head on the pillow at night to say I've done justice to all my patients today. And that's how I work, with a lot of credibility, but a lot of satisfaction at the end of the day that you've done a good day's work and you've done a good deed. And you have a little smile to the back of your face and say, Sacha Pasha, keep my surti, good to the next day as well, the way I've treated these patients. And when they come in the second sitting and then you open their notes and then you read all those symptoms they ticked, if I didn't give them a form with those so many symptoms, I don't even think they'll remember them. And when they come the second time and then you say, and the first sitting you say, these are your present symptoms. Yes, they have them. We go through them. And they come the second time, you readdress them, and they say they don't have them. 60% of the symptoms have gone, but they will think about something that they had 10 years ago that they forgot to fill in the form. Could be quite immaterial at that point. So one is ke bimari aa jandi par oda chutkara kita karna. A lot of BBs want to hang on to their emotional baggage. They like not to be free. I seem to be attacking the BBI in the cook show, and I seem to be attacking the BBI in the chat show, and I seem to be attacking the BBI in the health show. And these symptoms of panic attack come, it sometimes never comes with a warning, because sometimes it could be a split second change of situation that you panic, that you don't even know why you panicked. And really, there's a feeling of wanting to go or to get somewhere, could also be a panic, you know. At night time panic is quite scary one for people, because ik ta raat hai, ik ta you don't know if you can get help, ik you're alone maybe, or with your partner in your room, or you don't want to disturb them, or because this is your regimental feeling of panic attacks, you feel like nobody's hearing you in the house because they think it's now all in the mind. Night panic attacks, when you're asleep or when you're awake, this can happen when your brain is in a hyperactive alert mode due to adrenaline, and there could be a small change in your body as to a sign of danger or fear, or you think pata nahi main door lock kita, pata nahi main lighter band kita, pata nahi main gas band kita. All these things seem to then become a mode of panic. Obviously, experiencing a panic attack during night time can be particularly frightening. As I told you, patients may feel confused as to what's happening. They'll feel fogged out. They will feel tundla in the front of their eyes. They will feel a blurry vision, a feeling of helplessness, and cannot sleep due to the feel of in the fear that the panic attack will happen when they're asleep. So that really puts you through a very uncomfortable sleep. Panic attacks may happen to people when they have to wake up, or as soon as they're waking up, or they have to, or they'll be sweating a lot, or they will feel very soaked. The heart will start racing and they'll start feeling quite shaky. That could be a panic attack. How long do panic attacks last? For most people, it will be between 5 to 20 minutes, and for some about an hour. For some people, because one panic symptom goes on to another, to another, to another, of nausea, sickness, heartbeat, so many patterns through the day, it could last all day. For some people, it could be a 1 hour before everything simmers down and the whole adrenaline rush calms down, is normal in a human body. Then things will start calming until another situation turns up by the time it's another part of the day, for which you'll panic again. Panic attacks obviously vary from person to person, maybe every day, maybe once a week, maybe once a month, maybe once in 6 months. And what do you do for panic attacks? Obviously, I do a lot of self-care therapies, in which I do the NAS scan, and we actually sometimes through the NAS scan find out that the heart jitteriness or the little bubble of gas or methane gas can cause a rapid beat in the heart, for which they think they're going to get a heart attack. Should they call the ambulance? Do they have to dial? Oh my God, they don't have their phone next to them. Oh my God, they can't go downstairs. Oh, they're too scared. There might be somebody outside. watching them. Some people won't even open their curtains and look out in fear that somebody is watching. It's quite classic in India. Curtains are never drawn. Here we have properties with big windows. The bigger the window, the better the property's value, and the more gracious the property will look. But most people in fear will not even draw their curtains. In South, all I've noticed a lot, and I feel a bit suffocated with not having natural daylight into all my clinics, right from Poole to Glasgow and Birmingham. I make sure I'm by the water side. I make sure that I have large windows. I make sure I have access to good light, because sitting under tube lights can be also so confusing to the brain because it's a synthetic light. Panic attacks, obviously, with the heart is racing and shaking, can make you feel wanting to make a call, maybe to the ambulance call out, but they'll probably say, sorry, it was just a panic attack. So try to assess where this is all coming out. By giving the NAS scan is a second Gurdwara of Singh Sabha will be from the 10th to the 15th, and I return back down south on the 16th morning, but do not call me ke 16th morning nu dekh lo. I have my own projects and many other things, hindsight of chat shows and cook shows and other lectures I do for university students. So life is busy but organized, not panicky. So number jada appointments waste for Glasgow patients or any patients from Birmingham to Ivor to Bradford to Edinburgh and to London is 07886880591. Email ID manjeetkaur51@yahoo.co.uk, and for the pinia it is sales@manjeetshop.co.uk. Amazing formulations of 10. Nothing of what people think that my very first launch of pinia 6 years ago was very basic, and they think that is the pinia that are. These are healthy choice pinia with the very correct and the right herbs and the products that are added with the good essential fats, no sugar, no bad fats, and no flour in my pinia. On this very note, now I need to take a breather before my cameraman panics that I've gone over time and the team panics that I've gone over time. I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to make a choice to take a little half time now and take a fabulous drink that's sitting here right in front of me after this little short sweet break, and take you to the second half with Manjeet Kaur on my health show this Monday. Stay tuned.